Hello Year 6, welcome to Angles on day 4. I hope you all did your reading last night for World Book Night and you're getting stuck into a good book while we're off. I've been reading lots, so I hope you are too. Anyway, let's get on with Angles. So, this is just a bit of revision. Things that we already know about angles. Sum of angles on a straight line is 180 degrees. I forgot to put the degree sign on. There we go. The sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. In a full turn is 360 degrees. And in a half turn is 180 degrees. You should know that. Here's some examples of what a full turn could look like. So it could be like that, like that, in a circle, for instance, or angles at a point like this one. It's called angles at a point. It could be a spin, or something like a snowboarder going all the way around. That's a 360 turn. A half turn could be like this, or like this. It's angles on a straight line, isn't it? Same thing. A semicircle. She's diving into water. Very risky. And this footballer is doing a Cruyff turn. Where you take the ball and you turn the other way around with it. And it's 180 degrees. We also should know that opposite angles are equal, which is something we learnt yesterday. And then a quarter turn, I think we all know this one. A quarter turn is a right angle. It's a quarter of 360, because if it went all the way around, it would be 90, 90 and 90. So a quarter turn is a quarter of 360. And here's some examples of what that might look like. It could be like an angle like this. Like this. It could be on a clock. The distance between 12 and 3 is a quarter turn. Or these stairs, if you're going up these stairs, you would take a quarter turn to go all the way up to the top. Unless you wanted to go up sideways, I guess. But anyway, that'd be silly. Right, so we're going to look at quadrilaterals today. I think you can remember what a quadrilateral is, hopefully. A quadrilateral is a four-sided shape, any four-sided shape. It doesn't have to be one you know, it could be an irregular four-sided shape, like that. Anything, but mostly we deal with regular ones. What's the name of these shapes? So have a look at them, have a think. What's this one? It's easy. That was a square, obviously. And I think the one next to it you should all get. It's a rectangle or an oblong. What about this one? So if all the sides are the same length, this is a rhombus. Looks a bit like a square that's been pushed over. This one, where two sets of the sides are equal, is a parallelogram. Oops, that didn't go very well, but I think you'll get my point. This one, can anybody remember what this one is? This one's called a trapezium. Oh, no, not a tram. A trapezium. And what's the official name of this? If I drew this bit in for you, I think you'd probably get it. It's a kite. Okay. Right, so working out the angles in a four-sided shape is easy. Here's a square. We know that square has four right angles. We know that a right angle is 90 degrees. Four lots of 90 gives you the sum of the angles in a square. So 90 times 4 is 360. So the sum of the angles in a square are 360 degrees. And that's the same for any four-sided shape. Any four-sided shape is 360 degrees. You can check if you want to have a little bit of scissor action by getting a piece of paper and cutting off the corners here, and then and then once you've cut them off, if you put these sides all together in the middle, so they go like that, you'll see that it's the same as the angles at a point, angles all the way around. So it's 360. Okay. Right, so a little bit of guided practice. That was nice and straightforward. Now find the value of x. My angle markings have gone a bit mad. So pause the video, have a go at finding what x is. Okay, so obviously x, the two x's are the same. We know that the angles all together are 360. So what we know is 60 plus 60 plus x equals 360. We know that's 120. And we know that x add x is the same as 2 times x, or 2x is 360, so that's an easy way to write it. So 2 lots of x is 360, take away 120. 2x is 240, so x is 120. Because it's 240 divided by 2. Okay, now you can check that that's right by adding them all together. 120, add 120, 80, and not 80, what am I talking about? I'm going mad. 60 and 60. So you've got zeros here. 2, 4, 10, 16, 360. So I know I'm right. Let's see. Okay. Next one. Here's another quadrilateral. Angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360. So can you find out what angle y is here? Pause the video, have a go. Okay, so what we know is that this is a right angle. So we've got 120, add 80, add 90, add y, and that's all got to equal 360 degrees. There are degrees as well. So then we've got 290 plus y equals 360. So y equals 360, take away 290. So y equals 70. Oops, 70. Okay. Cool. Find m. That could not be easier. I'm going to pause it. You don't even need to pause the video, but if you do want to pause the video, pause the video. Okay, remember the angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360. So you've got 100, 200, 300, so the missing one, m, is 60 degrees. 100, 200, 300 and 60 degrees. Could not be more straightforward. Okay, so you've learnt something new, which is that the angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360. I'm just going to look at a few problems involving angles in triangles and quadrilaterals. Oh, this person, who could that be? That's Lottie, I reckon. Hi Lottie, if you're listening. Lottie thinks, I don't know where she thinks she's going with a bag. She's not heard there's a lockdown on. Anyway, Lottie thinks that it's possible to find the values of x and y. Let's see if she's right. Who's that? I think that's Raphael. Oops, what's going on there? Let's imagine. Hang on. See if I can. Oh no, I can't. Let's say that that is Raphael. Raphael knows that in that hexagon, 6-sided shape, a hexagon, there's a triangle, and he knows that the angles of this triangle here add up to 180. How does that help us? Well, if we look at that, can we make any more triangles in that hexagon. Sketch out the hexagon for yourself and have a go. Think about how many triangles you can make in that hexagon. I keep getting news flashes at the top of the page. Okay, so hopefully you had something like this. It may be slightly different, but something like this. So we've got 1 here, 2, 3, 4 triangles out of that hexagon, and each of those triangles is 180 degrees. So what is the sum of the angles in a hexagon? See if you can work it out. Okay, you should have done 180 times 4. So the sum of the angles of a hexagon are 720 degrees. Okay. Okay, now go back to what Lottie was saying. Lottie said she thought it was possible to find the value of x and y. So if, looking at this one at the moment, if the angles of a hexagon sum to 720, what is the value of x? How are you going to work that out? Well, we should know that there are how many angles in a hexagon? Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 angles in a hexagon. So if I want to work out what one of those angles is 720 divided by 6 will give me what one of the angles is. So let's work it out over here. 720 divided by 6. 6 into 7 goes 1, remainder 1. 6 is into 12 goes 2. 6 into 0 goes 0. So each angle in the hexagon is 120, including x. Okay. Now, very excitingly, we're going to move on to the pentagon. Thank you to Lottie and Rafi for their help. Oops. If we look at what she's saying about the pentagon, let me just have a look. Sorry. She also thinks that you can work out what the value of y is. Look at the pentagon there. It's a little bit small, so let me just go back and get the original one, which is there. Lottie still thinks that she can work out the value of y. She's going to ask for some help from her friends. And the help she's going to ask for is here. And this could be Holly, I reckon. Oops, that's not gone well either. Don't try my pen. It's just doing straight lines. What's it done here? Holly. And she thinks she can use triangles again, so she draws 3 triangles in. This has blown her mind. This is probably Maya, because they're sitting next to each other. So this has blown Maya's mind. Look at her, she's staggered. Maya's thinking, why didn't I think of that? And we've got 3 triangles. And we know that the angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So see if you can work out what the sum of all of the angles in a pentagon sum to. Okay, so the angles of the pentagon make up, it's not 5 triangles, it should be 3 triangles. Going mad. Can't get that. That should be 3 triangles. Okay, so the sum of the angles inside a pentagon is 180 times 3, which gives us 540. So altogether, all of these angles equal 540 degrees. So what's the value of each angle? Well, how many angles have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How are you going to work out what one angle is? If all of them are 540, what are you going to do? So you should be looking at 540 divided by 5 and pause and go off and do that somewhere else. My little stylus pen doesn't do lines very well. There you go. Equals 108 degrees. So each angle in a pentagon is 108 degrees. So 108. Okay. So you can see that you can use what you already know. So by dividing it into triangles, you've been able to use that knowledge to work out the pentagon. Okay, guided practice. What do you think the sum of the angles in this shape might be? Have a look at the shape. Like a kite. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so hopefully you recognise that you can have, in that kite, two triangles. One there, one there. You can have 180 and 180, which give you 360 degrees. It is also, of course, a four-sided shape. So a quadrilateral has four sides and the angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360. So have a look at this one. What is the sum of angles E, F, G, H, I and J? So what can you see there? Well, hopefully you can see a triangle here and different triangle here. So two triangles. So the angles of a triangle add up to 180. There are two of them. So 180 add 180 is 360 degrees. Okay. Oh, can we find the sum of all 8 of these angles in this shape? Now have a think. What shapes can you see there? Stop the video and see if you can work out what the angles of these shapes will add up to. Okay, so you've got the triangles. They're easy to spot, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've definitely got 180 degrees times 4. That's 180, 180, 80 and 180. 180 times 4 is, we should already know, 720. Okay, but that's not the end of it, is it? Because you've also got these angles here. So there are altogether 8 angles. We've got these 180s. We've also got a square in the middle. What does a square? What's the angles of a square add up to? And they add up to 360, don't they? So you should have 1080. So you've got these 180s, you've got your 360 for your square. Add them all together, you get 1080 degrees. Okay, moving on. No, we're not moving on, that's the end. That's a nice short video today. Thanks for listening. Oh, can't get it on, doesn't it? Thanks for listening, and I will speak to you after the holidays. Not holidays, what am I talking about? It's a weekend.